Cold War is officially out, and we are extremely excited to show you what we think about the game so far. Today, we're giving you our update on how we feel about Cold War. This video will include pretty much everything about Cold War, from its campaign, to its multiplayer, to its zombies, and even to leveling information. Without further ado, let's get started. There's a lot of players in the community that would say that the multiplayer is the most important part of Call of Duty, which is why that is where we need to start. As far as the multiplayer goes, there haven't been that many changes from the beta. The guns still feel really good, skill-based matchmaking is still extremely strong, which does damage the game. New weapons have been added, but they're pretty well balanced and bring a lot more fun to the game. And the maps altogether aren't that bad. The maps are actually pretty well balanced and overall pretty enjoyable. However, the one thing we really want to bring up about the multiplayer is the leveling. Leveling up in Cold War is extremely difficult. It takes a lot of time and takes a lot of XP. However, what we really want to talk about is the return of prestige. As most Call of Duty players know, Modern Warfare 2019 got rid of a lot of classic Call of Duty cliches and tropes, with one of the most important being its prestige system. Once you reach the max level of the game, you have an option to prestige. It basically means that you've gone up the maximum amount of levels that the game allows at least once or twice or 3 times. It shows that you've leveled up a lot, and it shows that you have a lot of time spent in the game. It's been a beloved part of Call of Duty for a long time, and when Modern Warfare 2019 took it out of the game, it felt weird, to say the least. You could still track how many times you've leveled up, but you couldn't show that you've leveled up a certain amount of times. And this is a feature that Black Ops has brought back for this newest installment. However, it works a little bit differently, with the most noticeable part of this feature being that once you reach the level needed to prestige, it doesn't exactly give you a choice. You automatically prestige and restart at square one. You don't exactly have a choice as in how fast you would like to prestige. Once you reach that level, it automatically resets you. Now, this affects all the players in the player base differently. Personally, I don't really see it as a problem, but I know a lot of people that will be upset about how they just worked their way up to level 55 and immediately get bumped back down to number 1. On to the next very important part. I like to talk about the game's campaign. Now, this was a part of Cold War that I was very excited for, but also very worried about. Of course, in one of the earlier COD Globe videos, I wound up stating that I was worried about Woods' voice actor. However, I didn't exactly point out that most of the classic characters' voice actors have been changed. Because of this, Woods, Mason, and Hudson, they feel like different characters. They don't feel like the classic characters that we all wound up falling in love with back in 2010. The characters simply don't feel as lovable as they were back in the day. Woods is supposed to be a very gritty and cool character, but in this game, he seems more like a clown. Now, of course, that's my personal opinion. But other than that, the campaign is pretty solid. From the gameplay mechanics to the storyline itself, the campaign just feels really good. It's a very fun campaign, but it does feel like the storyline itself is kind of floppy. However, this will absolutely go in the book as one of my favorite Call of Duty campaigns. Now on to the topic that I have the most to say about, the Zombies mode. As most players know, Treyarch is the company that started up the Zombies Horde mode. And like I said in the previous video about Cold War, I was very worried about how they were going to integrate the new mechanics in with a classic Zombies game mode. And after the game was released, Zombies mode was one of the first things I checked out. Cold War Zombies is nothing like traditional Black Ops Zombies. Calling Cold War Zombies anything like the original Zombies modes would be a crime. It's nothing like Call of Duty Zombies. However, that doesn't mean that it's not a fun zombies game. Cold War Zombies is oddly amusing in the fact that the mechanics feel amazing. The new leveling system is pretty fun. Having to fight bosses has always been entertaining. There's this constant progression in leveling and challenge-breaking attitude that gives the game mode a lot of spunk and a lot of fun. Like I said, calling this a classic zombies mode would not be accurate. Where normal zombies is about taking your time and figuring out points and dealing with things as they get a bit more hectic, most veteran zombie players would most likely call Cold War easy. When I was doing my first playthrough of it, me and my friends actually got around 20 rounds in before we had any actual trouble. And even then, the majority of the trouble we were having was just bugs, such as my ray gun basically disappearing and deleting itself. Now, where Cold War Zombies definitely has a lot of potential and definitely can grow a lot more, It's not a bad mode. In fact, it's actually pretty fun. But it's nothing like traditional zombies, which is something I predicted was going to happen. With the new mechanics, it's very enjoyable, it's very clean, it's very smooth, it feels really good. But it doesn't have that classic zombies feel. We've basically thrown a lot of the classic bare bones feeling of zombies out of the window. We have more related zombies with more of a leveling and upgrading kind of game mode that makes it so that the higher level you are, the easier it is to get by. Where back in the day of classic zombies, it didn't matter what level you were, all that mattered was your skill and how good you were at the game. And with that, that is our update on Cold War. Altogether, the game has a lot of potential. There's a lot of growth for this game, and there's a lot of different places that it can go. Did you agree with what we stated in this video, and do you have anything else that you'd like to put in? If so, leave it down in the comment section, because we love reading them and seeing what you have to say. That's going to be it for this episode of COD Globe, and we cannot wait to see you in the next one.